IB student and artist. And welcome back to Sharing Our Cultures. Joining me in conversation now is Chineze Nwokedi. She's a barrister and solicitor with Gittins and Associates. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so it's a pleasure. And I'd like to first of all start off by asking you, why did you choose to become a lawyer?
Why did I choose to become a lawyer?
What was the first time you said, this is something I really want to do?
I have this uncle who I absolutely adore, still do, always have, always will. He's a lawyer. He rose to be the Attorney General of my state. And I've always admired him. I've always wanted to be like him. So I naturally just followed his path and became a lawyer, just like him.
Okay, all right. Yeah. And what was that journey like for you?
It was, of course, difficult. Going through the university, going to the law school, it's a lot of work, but something I've loved, and my eyes have always been on the goal. So
so you kept your eyes on the goal, and you
always
didn't move away from that.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you said the state and where, so can you just give us a little bit of a context where you were from and where the state was and where you actually did your academic journey?
I'm from Nigeria. I'm from Anambra State in Nigeria. I did my university at Madonna University in Anambra State, and then my law school at the Nigerian Law School. Yes.
All right. And from Nigeria, you came to Newfoundland Labrador?
Yes. So I moved here in 2016 when I got married. My husband went to Mon, and he stayed back. So when I got married, I joined him here.
All right.
So when you move here as a lawyer and you intend to practice here, it's a whole other ball game. Another set of hurdles that you have to pass through. You have to go through what we call requalification. So you have to write your NC exams, which is the National Committee on Accreditation of the Federation of Law Societies of Canada. So you send your transcripts to them from your university and the law school, and then they evaluate, and based on your grades, they give you the courses to write. And you have to do those courses and pass them. So when you successfully pass the courses, you're issued what is called a qualifying certificate. And at that point, your journey really starts. Because you have to find where to article, a law firm to article, and then, which is 1 year, which is like a work term for lawyers. So you article for 1 year, you write, here in Newfoundland, you take the bar admission course, write and pass the bar exams, and then you're called to the bar.
Wow, that seems like a lot of hurdles. So
it's a journey.
Yeah, how were you able then to find a law firm that would take you to do your articling?
Well, you apply. For me, I had my eyes on Gittins because I saw that they have some NCA students as well. It's very hard to break in here because most people don't really understand the journey of an immigrant, or, when you're saying that you studied in a different place or the NCA process or anything like that. But for Gittins, they have one or two, or still do have one or two NCA students. So I knew that at least my journey, would not be as tedious as me having to explain from the ground, from scratch, what the process is. So at that time, I was working at Johnson Insurance full-time. But I knew that I had to start to look for articles when I completed my NCAs. So when I completed my NCAs, I started to apply to various law firms. I got some callbacks. I had a few interviews. And then I also had an interview with Gittins. And I got the job. And that's for the work term. So I articled for a year, got called to the bar April of this year, and I was retained after my articling.
Well, they must have been impressed, and congratulations for being called to the bar. I think that's
so much.
A great accomplishment.
Thank you.
We're really proud of you.
Thank you.
For persevering, because I think when you come here and your qualifications are not accredited and they're not recognized, most people get discouraged and they just say, well, what's the point? And they find themselves doing something else. But I'm really pleased that you persevered and pushed through.
Thank you.
And here we are now. So tell me what your day-to-day work's like.
Oh, I wake up in the morning. I'm married. I have 2 boys. So the mornings are very eventful. Then we manage to get ourselves out of the house. And I make it to work. Depending on my day, I may have meetings, I may have court appearances. I may also have to just sit down in my office and draft and prepare documents.
Okay.
So it's no every day is different, like depending on what I have that day. But it's mostly meetings, court appearances, and preparing documents, really.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the court system here, is it very different from what it is like in the state in Nigeria?
It's common law, so it's typically the same. It's very similar, you know, but culturally it's different. There's some things that are different, of course, but the basic, like the law itself, is very similar because they're both common law countries. Nigeria is a common law country and Canada is a common law country.
Okay. So why then, if you already have a degree from Nigeria and you're a lawyer there, why then when you come here, if they're both common law
Canada.
countries? Okay. Do you have,
to
go
to
and
test
be
you
accredited?
and, you know,
Yeah.
put, and you know, for some reason, I'm really grateful for the training. You know, when I was going through it, I obviously, you know, you feel like I was called to the bar in Nigeria in 2011. You know, I practiced for a couple of years before I moved here. So at first, I struggled with having to actually go back to, you know, study and all that stuff. I felt like I've done this, you know, I've been there. I don't want to do this again. But now that I'm doing this, I'm grateful for the training because, like, you know, there's so many nuances that you don't know, so many things you learn, especially on the articling part of it, where you're doing the work term, you're shadowing, you're being mentored, you're learning so much, you know? And at the end of the day, when you're on your own, not really on your own, like you have your own clients, your own like practice, you see that those things help you. Where I work, they still continue to mentor. You're not just left on your own because we have like senior lawyers who still mentor you, who are interested in your journey, who, you know, help you out. But the training you get, the exams you write, the NCA exams you write, the bar admission course here, absolutely no regret. Like, you know, they teach you the practical aspect of the practice of law here, which is something that, you know, obviously, if you didn't have it, you're going to struggle. You know, as a new lawyer, you actually struggle, but it will make it worse if you didn't have that training. So, yes, of course, I was already a lawyer in Nigeria. I had to do all that to qualify here, but I'm grateful for it. You know, I feel like it made me better.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm happy to hear that because I mean, the legal profession is within a particular cultural context.
Yes,
right?
and even here in Canada, like every province is different. Like you know, if I had to move to Ontario, their laws are very tailored to Ontario. Laws in Newfoundland are tailored to Newfoundland. So you see why you kind of have to do the national thing at the NCA level, then go to your province where you intend to practice, and then go through the journey in your province. Okay. So, yeah.
So that's good. And you were able to do all of that in 1 year?
No, in 3.5 years.
3.5 years here in the province?
No, like everything total, like NCAs,
total.
articling, and bar admission course and bar exams, 3.5 years.
All right then, okay. Yeah. So you've done it, and here we are. Yes. So that's really amazing, and we're really are proud of what you've done.
Thank you.
Yeah, and when I think about it, China Cultures, where we involve high school youth in various programs and projects to help them gain employability skills, socio-cultural skills, to help them get a sense of where they want to be, where they want to, what they want to be, where they want to go.
Yeah.
So if you were going to recommend or advise some high school student that's thinking of the legal profession here in this province, what would you say?
I would say you have to love it. You have to, it's a lot of work, a lot of studying. So you have to absolutely love it. And focus your eyes on the prize all the time, you know? It's going to be stressful, but it's absolutely worth it, you know? Like there's nothing else I'd rather be doing than being a lawyer. So that's it for me. Like, you know, just focus and know that whatever it is you have to go through to become a lawyer will be worth it for you at the end, hopefully.
Keep your eyes on the goal.
Yes, all the time.
What about support? What kind of support will be available to young people?
Well, family, right? Like, you know, it's your family, your peers. For me, I'm big on family. I absolutely will not be here without my husband, you know? The support your family gives you, on your journey, you know, listen to them. They mean well, you know, just lean on it, you know, take advantage of it and, you know,
Yeah. Now, there are various aspects of the legal profession. So what's your specialty and what's your focus?
Well, I'm not specializing yet because I want to do a few things and know what, you know, I like. But for now, I do a lot of family. I do a lot of wills and estates. And I do a little bit of criminal
Okay.
Yes.
All right. What eventually would you like to spend most of your time doing?
Wills and estate.
Wills and estate. Okay. I know. I'll put your name down.
But like, family is good too. Like, I'm
Yes.
doing all three now,
Okay.
and seeing where it leads me in the future.
All right then. Okay. So your husband's here. You have your two boys here.
Yes.
Are you planning to stay? Is this a province you think you would like to stay?
I don't like the weather. I don't think anyone does. But we absolutely love it here. We have our house here. We have our kids in schools here. My husband has a job here, and he's also with the military as a reservist. So we have our lives here. Okay. So I don't see us moving from here anytime soon,
Okay.
or maybe ever, but never say never.
That's right, yes.
For now, we love it here.
And you're both giving back and contributing to the province, both through his work and yours?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's it like for the children then growing up here?
Well, they were born here, so they don't know any other life.
Okay.
This is all they know. For us, we've had to adjust. For them, this is their life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So do you think you've completely adjusted now to life
Nope.
here? No. What's left?
I haven't adjusted to the weather. There'll always be something. Like I moved here in my mid-20s.
Okay, yes.
So there'll always be things that that's just not the same that I have to like adjust and
Right.
But I'm doing that every day, and every day it gets better.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you miss about Nigeria when you're here?
The ease that I get our food. You could walk into any restaurant and just get. You don't have that. Like we have a few people doing that now, but when I first moved here, there wasn't anything. So you struggle with that, finding. Just the food, because I'm a foodie, I love to eat. But the food, the weather, it's so different. It's like night and day.
Right,
the winters are just difficult for me. Always has been. I hope it gets better.
Right.
The people are amazing, though. I think one of the nicest people I've ever met are from this province. So I think they kind of make up for everything else that I struggle with.
Yes, like places to buy the ingredients you want.
Well, there are places to buy the ingredients, but mostly they are not fresh. And of course, like look at the distance from Nigeria to this place,
Right,
so it's what I struggle with.
So have you had any of your family members come to visit?
Yes,
or?
my mom has been here.
Okay.
She's the only one. My sisters were supposed to be here just before COVID hit.
Okay, right,
But we have the group, the Nigerian Canadian Association, so supportive. It's such a large community. Like for this place, there's so many Nigerians here, and that group kind of makes you realize that you have people here who are also from your place, who share the same journey with you, So yeah, the community, Nigerian community here, it's amazing.
Great, and you've been able to get support from them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. It's certainly been a pleasure having a
for having me,
conversation with
Lloydetta.
you, and I've got your number now.
Yes.
We'll be looking out for you. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And Sharing Our Cultures will be right back. Welcome back to Sharing Our Cultures, and joining me now is Paula, and she's going to tell us all about what it is to be a student here and to be an artist. Welcome to Sharing Our Cultures, Paula.
Thank you.
Okay, it's a pleasure having you. And I'd like to, you're a student here
Yes.
in St. John's, and you're in the IB program. Can you tell
Yes.
us more about that?
The IB program is International Baccalaureate. It's a program that's offered in Holy Heart to students from grade 10 till 12, and you have to do pre-IB, so start in grade 9, do the procedures, and then you talk with the teachers, sign some papers. I got a scholarship with them because it's expensive, so you have to do all of that, and then you go on to your journey to grade 10, 11, and 12, and that's the IB, where you do advanced classes. Like instead of doing high school courses like biology, you do more of like university, and that gives you credit for university, so your university years are shorter.
Okay, well, congratulations, A, on getting a scholarship, and B,
Thank you.
on getting the IB program, because I've heard that it's a lot of work.
It is a lot.
Okay.
A lot of nights staying up, studying, finishing projects last minute.
I could imagine, but think about it, it shortens your time in the university. So what other people are doing
That's
4 or 5
true.
years,
Yeah.
you may be doing only 3.5. So that's great. Okay, and your other love is art. Now
Yes.
tell us how you started.
I started when I was 5. I remember it was back in Montreal. The teacher was asking us to do an art piece. I decided to do fishes. And
And then you end up in
I did fishes, but the thing is that she was guiding us. I didn't like that. I wanted to do my own thing, right? They always give us a template of what they want us to do, but I've never liked that. I've always just wanted to follow my own rhythm, my own things. So I started when I was 5, and then my father, he's also an artist. So I continued with him. He showed me how to use acrylic and stuff. I prefer acrylic, I'm more abstract. So I like showing the texture of the paintings, not so much of showing it 3D. That's what I like.
Right. Okay.
So.
And I've seen some of your beautiful artwork, and I'm going to show some now. And you're going to tell us in each one what was your motivation for it, if there's anything special about it, or where you drew it. Okay, so we'll start with this one.
That one I did at Holyrood. So at the time I was playing a lot of instruments like guitar, cello, and everything. We just got an electric guitar. There you can see it there. And so at first I did the drawing in the background, but I didn't like around it the sky how it was. So then I was like, okay, let's do a guitar. I have it next to me. I can just look at it and draw it. So that's what I did there.
Okay. But in the guitar, though, you have another object in it, is it?
Yeah, I have a tree and I also have the earth around it, but not so specific, showing like Latin America, Europe, and everything. Just like the colors to show. The tree represents life, because you know the tree of life. So you know, and then contrast with the other colors, because when you do cold colors with warm, I find it more beautiful. That's what I like doing. I like breaking the rules with art.
You do your own thing. You want your warm and your cold.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that's this one. Now let's talk about the other one. Of course, when I saw this one, I always think of all the dandelions at the end of the summer. Okay, so
That one, I was on the bus going to the park, and in the park, you know, there's a lot of dandelions, a lot of flowers, and I was just like, okay, let's draw that. I was into flowers back then, so that's what I did. But I wanted something not with color, because I always use color, you know, warm, cold. This time, I wanted something plain, something black and white with shades. You know?
And this, I mean, I think of all the attention to detail, like the little
It was
tiny.
the first time I did that type of detail, because I'm more abstract. This time I wanted to do something different, like my brother, he's more into that. I wasn't into it, but you know.
Okay, I like that. And I'm just showing my favorites. She's got lots of them, but these are my favorites. I love him. There's just something about this snowman. Even though I don't like the cold, I just love this one.
Well, that was the first time I did aquarella. It was back in Gules when I still lived there. My father was showing me like how to do it, how to move the paintbrush and everything, because there's a technique, right? You can't just go ahead and do it. So it was the first time I did it, and we were at the same time outside earlier. We made a snowman, so that's where the inspiration came from.
Okay, I love the snowman. I think I'm going to keep that. And all right, so we'll try one more here.
That one, I think, is my favorite. It's
I thought it was.
on the wall of my bedroom. I love watermelons. It's the only thing I actually like eat a lot of it with no issues since I'm young. So I was getting ready for Les Jeux de la Francophonie. It's like a French game here in Atlantic. And so the teacher was teaching us how to use like pieces, like garbage pieces, and put it together to do art. So there you can see some drawings around it. That's actually like garbage that I found. I put some paint into it and started working around it. The watermelon was at the end. I was like, something's missing. So I put a watermelon in the middle, and then I put the white around it because I thought that would give a good contrast. And then she gave us watercolor. So that's how I did the shading on the top. That's like everything's darker red, and on the bottom it's green because of the watermelon.
So did you say these were pieces of
Garbage, yep.
that you put together?
That collected, you use paint, and that's
and you
it.
just painted them onto the. Oh, all right. That's very creative.
Thank you.
Oh wow, I love the idea of it. Now, you are originally from Chile.
Yes.
Tell us what life was like for you coming here and being in school and.
Well, Chile is in Latin America. I'm from there, so I speak Spanish.
Okay.
And coming here, at first I didn't understand. I was 4.5. You have to say a half because I wasn't 3. Let's say 4.5. I didn't understand what was moving to another country. I remember my mom telling me later, when I got older, that I called my aunt. I was like, "Aunt, you should come visit us. Like, you just have to take the bus, the car, and then the plane." But I didn't understand that I was moving to another place.
Right, another country.
Yeah.
Yes.
Another country,
continent.
Completely different culture, everything.
Yes,
Like
right.
not in Chile, my whole family's over there. Here, I have only like my parents and my siblings. That's
Right.
it.
Okay.
So I find it very easy to adapt because I grew up learning a lot of languages.
Okay.
But I noticed that around junior high, it was a little bit harder. But then you just move on. I've always like moved a lot of houses, school. So I find school pretty easy, adaptable. I find it harder to stay in one place actually. Staying longer than 2 years, that's scary for me.
Okay. So you're going to be at Holy Heart for more than 2 years? Or
Yeah,
maybe you're trying to...
3 years.
3 years.
My heart is going very fast.
You want to finish this third year so quickly.
And leave right away. No.
That's right. Get to university and...
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So you speak Spanish, but you also speak French.
Yes.
And did you learn English when you came here?
I learned English here when I
okay.
was in 3rd grade. That's when I started. But I wouldn't speak English to anyone until 6th grade. And because I got here, I did French immersion. I just spoke my French, no problem, you know. Even though it was hard for people to understand me because I spoke Quaicoe. But then I started speaking English and I almost forgot my French. But then because I moved to the French school, I started speaking French again, and then I got my 3 languages.
Okay, French, Spanish, and English.
Yeah.
Oh, great. You're trilingual there.
Yeah.
So for students now, I know there are a lot of newcomer students. I know there's some in Holy Heart and other schools as well. But when they come here, what would you say to them to encourage them to succeed? Because you're a successful student, I must say that. Congratulations. I'm totally impressed with how hard you work, how much you accomplish, and you know, you're just a stellar student all around. So I keep thinking, you're such a good role model for lots of newcomer students coming here.
That is so kind.
But what would you advise them? What do you think helped you, and what's that driving force that's behind all you do? I mean, you volunteer, you put your whole heart and soul into it. You know.
I really enjoy talking with people. That's my thing. Getting to know people. You have to be more outgoing. Like you can't be reserved in your little spot, in your little corner. You can't do that. You have to go out there and ask questions, because I've noticed here that if you don't ask questions, no one's really gonna guide you, right? So for volunteering, I started when I was 12. I was interesting because I wanted to hang out with friends, at a summer camp, but I didn't want people to boss me around. I wanted to boss people around, right?
Yes, there's a leader right through your veins.
I was 12, so I was pretty young, but they made an exception for me, and they were you can volunteer with us, it's fine, and that's where it all started. But you have to be very outgoing and ask questions all the time. Have a safety net too, because sometimes it's gonna be hard. Have friends around you. Try to talk with people, with teachers. I know teachers are very helpful. So that's what helped me, and I recommend everyone.
Recommend that everyone would do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And if they're thinking about the IB program, what do they need to, think about?
You have to be very have a lot of perseverance.
Okay.
Because a lot of times it's going to be very hard. You have a lot of projects on your hand, a lot of exams. Exams are 80% of your grade. Your IA, which is internal assessment, is 20% of your grade. So everything, all the pressure is put on just 2 projects. The other things like the tests and quizzes, they don't count at all. So you have to understand what you're getting yourself into. And if you get into it, don't get out. You have to continue with it.
Right.
you know,
I like that fighting spirit in you.
fight with it, have
Yeah,
a safety
okay.
net, like I said before,
Right,
have
okay.
friends around you, people that can tell you, continue with it, you can do it, even though it's hard.
Right,
Yeah.
yes. And so you have the CAS project you'll be working on as well,
Yeah.
so that's great, yeah.
My CAS project, I want to work with you guys and talk about diversity, understand the struggles of newcomers that come here and how I can help them, because I want to build a project for them.
Yes, and that's so thoughtful of you. There's just something so special about you. You work hard, but you also leave time for other people, and you always leave time to help others and to support others. And I've seen
Thank
that
you.
with you
I
throughout the
try.
years.
I like it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
communication, everything, analyzing everything. I love it.
Right, yeah. And I know you're going to go places. You're one young lady that's going to, the sky's the limit for you, and you're going to go great places. And I'm so honored to have known you and have you share the cultures with us. And thank you so much for being here with us. We really, really appreciate the time you took and all what you've shared. And I'm sure a lot of newcomer students will look up to you as a role model, as a mentor.
So
And
kind of you.
yeah, so we really do appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. And sharing our cultures, we'll be right back. Thanks to Chineze and Paula, and to you for joining us today. Join us again next time for more remarkable stories on sharing our cultures.
If you want convenience, Marie's Money Mart is here for you. A one-stop shop for a variety of products, home-style breads, sandwiches, plus check out our freshly baked artisan breads and single-serve desserts exclusively at our in-store bakery on Frecker Drive. With 25 locations, wherever you go, there we are.
If you have a comment about this